Hey all, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am so freaking excited for this for a multitude of reasons. Number one reason I'm most excited is because I have not gotten a whole lot of new makeup recently. I have not purchased a whole lot of new makeup recently, and this is something that I purchased because I was so damn excited about it. So today we are going to be talking about the new Shroud Cosmetics Moonfall palette. But the other reason I'm excited is because I am bringing back a series on my channel that I personally loved doing, and it just kind of slipped to the wayside. But this is going to be another in my series that I call Worth It, where we take a deep dive into a new makeup product and I let you know the story behind the brand. I let you know their cruelty-free vegan status. I talk about the packaging, the brand's return policy. We're going to do swatches, and then we are going to do a first look, a first impressions to see how we like the palette. And I'm so excited. This was always one of my very favorite types of videos to do. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're pumped that it's back, but we're going to jump right into this. I'm not even going to do my usual introduction because I'm just so damn excited. Also, I'm going to be trying out one other new product today, but I didn't necessarily want to do a dedicated product review on this. I just wanted to try it. So I got some lashes from BK Beauty that is part of their new collection with Risa Does Makeup, their new collaboration. And if you've watched my channel before, you know I'm not a huge lash person, but when I do wear lashes, I'm not somebody who wears really extravagant lashes. I like them to just be like wispy and lovely and just accentuate a look, but they also need to be easy to put on. So I want to put one of these to the test. I don't know which one. I mean, I'm leaning, you know what, I don't know. I keep changing my mind. I'm leaning towards these in stiletto because they're kind of cat eye and wispy and they look just really lovely. Also, these are completely vegan, so that's awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna try that too. As always, there are gonna be timestamps down below, so if you wanna skip to a particular section, you can go ahead and do that. But we're gonna start off by talking about the brand behind the palette. This one is a little bit weird though, because I had a really hard time finding a whole lot of information about Shroud Cosmetics. Now, I do know that Shroud Cosmetics was started as Strobe Cosmetics by Chloe back in 2010 when she was only 16, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Starting a cosmetics brand at age 16 is just kind of mind-blowing. But in 2019, they did decide to rebrand and they came out as Shroud Cosmetics, and they are handmade in California, or at least most of their products are. They do have a few items that they say are not made in California, and they don't necessarily say where they are made. And that is a little confusing to me, I have to be honest, but most of their products are handmade right here in the United States of America in California. Now, as far as any controversy behind the brand, there really isn't much that I could find. The only thing that might be considered a controversy. Okay, so several years back, they did come out with a collaboration with Betty Jean, who was then Batty Bean, and it was the It's Freaking Bats palette. This was an amazing looking palette. So amazing that it sold out very quickly. And what they decided to do, what Shroud decided to do, was put it right back up and say, this is for pre-order. You won't get it right away. We're not even going to tell you when you're going to get it. We have no idea. And there were a lot of people that had to wait 4, 5, 6 months to get this palette in. And people were really upset by that. Now, me personally, it took me many months to receive that palette. And I kind of didn't care. The quality of the palette is so worth it, and I really loved it. I really enjoyed it, but to some, that may be considered a controversy of the brands. Now, as far as their return policy, if your item is damaged or defective, you do have 14 days to request a refund from the brand, but as far as returns or exchanges, they do say that because of safety procedures and cleanliness procedures, all makeup is final sale. If you don't like it, if the formula is not defective, but it just doesn't work for you, or maybe you thought this green sparkle was actually a blue sparkle, you're kind of SOL. There is no return policy if you just don't like the item. So it's not like Sephora or Ulta where you can just go in and return anything. They are a smaller indie brand, and I do understand that return policy, to be honest, but I do like that if your item, again, is defective or damaged, they will offer a return. Now, also, if your item is just missing, if it was showed as delivered on Shroud's side, there's nothing they can do about it. And that's the same, I think, with a lot of brands, so I don't think that's anything unique to Shroud. But if it is shown as delivered, again, you're kind of SOL and they're unable to offer you a replacement or a refund of any kind. And also Shroud's products do sell out rather quickly. So I feel like even if your item is like damaged and you just want another one, you want one that's not damaged, you might have trouble with that because once they sell out, they sell out. So just something to keep in mind when you are ordering from this brand. As far as their cruelty-free and vegan status, I am happy to report that they are both cruelty-free certified by Leaping Bunny, which I consider to kind of be the gold standard of cruelty-free certification, and they are always 100% vegan. So I know that appeals to a lot of you. I personally do not just use vegan makeup, but I do only use cruelty-free makeup, and it's just kind of a bonus for me when it's vegan as well, so that made me really happy. Now let's talk about the packaging. I usually start this off by just showing the outer box, but I really wanted to show you the whole package because I was really impressed with how this was packaged. Guess what? I haven't even opened this myself yet. So we're gonna kind of do a little unboxing together. So first, you do have a little postcard telling you the story behind it, behind the fact that this palette did start off as singles and now it's, you know, a full palette. But I like that. And then my little shipping labels behind that. But what I like is that this is so secure. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, that's a waste of packaging, that's too much. But when it comes to palettes, they get damaged so easily that I don't mind it. And also, I don't know about you, but whenever a company packages with tissue paper, I reuse it every single time. Like, I don't think I've bought tissue paper since like 2003. Thanks, Shroud. So we have a few layers of just tissue paper by itself. And then we have the actual palette wrapped in tissue paper and more at the bottom to cushion it. So decent sized box. And then again, we've got the palette wrapped in tissue paper. Let's open this up. Don't rip the tissue paper because then your friends will know that you just reused it when you give them their birthday gift. And here we have the palette. This is interesting to me. This is very plain packaging for them. Hold on a minute. Okay, I guess it's not that plain, but like this was the packaging for It's Freaking Bats. We had like an ombre, we had a cool font, and then they went a little crazy for the Hello Bean palette, which is the other one I have. We've got bats, we've got bright green. This just looks very plain. This almost, interesting. I mean, it depends on how you feel. It's just a small cardboard container, very thin. This is probably one that I will keep because I like to keep my packaging because I'm a weirdo. And then when you open it up, I'm going to guess, oh, so the palette inside does have like a design on it. I wish they had put this on the outside cardboard packaging. It's not a huge deal. It's just something that I think would be cool. But we also have that same kind of mountain design with the moon and stars on the top. There's no moon. I'm just lying to you all over the place. But we do have the stars on top, and it's very compact. It is the same size as all their other palettes, which honestly is something that I think is kind of delightful. But now we are going to look at the actual palette itself, and I'll let you know, I have not even opened this yet. I opened this with you, so I'm really excited to see it. Now, as far as the palette, is there going to be, yep. So we do have one of these guys, one of these like clear plastic buddies, but let's see. Oh, I just love this color story so much, and this is why I had to buy this, even though, you know, I'm on a low buy. I've been very good with not buying a whole lot, but oh, it's just so beautiful. So while these did all start off as singles, the matte shadows are all the same formula as the previous singles, but all of these beautiful shimmers, these 4 beautiful shimmers, are a completely new formula and supposedly 10 times what they were. I will say I did not try the previous formula of this, so I cannot unfortunately compare the two. But if you want to see a good comparison, I'm going to go ahead and link Betty Jean's video down below. She did a great comparison of the old shadows versus the new ones, so you can really see the difference there. But this is just so beautiful. They do dark and grungy very well, like these deep, deep dark shades, and just, oh my God, I want to dig my whole face into Artifact. It's difficult to see, but it's obviously a green, but it pulls definitely gold. Sometimes you can see it in the mirror if you shift the right way, but I guess not today. But it is definitely like a bunch of different colors. There's some blue shimmer in there. All of these shimmers look so multi-dimensional. It's just beautiful. Now, one thing I always love doing on my Worth It series are price comparisons, and I like to compare price per gram. It's easy to look at a $10 palette versus a $20 palette and go, oh, well, the $10 palette, that's definitely a better value. But maybe sometimes there is 4 times the amount of product in the $20 palette, making it a better value. So I always like to compare price per gram for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a chart here on the screen comparing some higher end palettes, some of the best sellers at Sephora, some indie palettes, along with this palette so we can take a look. As you can see, the Shroud Moonfall palette has 13.5 grams of shadows, and at $45, this brings the price per gram to $3.33. This falls right in the middle of my chart here. You can see how high some of these shadows are as price per gram. I was so surprised at so many of these prices, but $3.33 per gram seems to be about average. It's not too high, not too low. I'm not upset about it. I will say that the other Shroud palettes had about the same amount of product, but were more inexpensive to purchase. So that does bring their price per gram, like for these, a little bit lower than the Moonfall. So take with that what you will. I'm not upset at the price I paid for the amount of product that I'm receiving, but I always want you to be informed to make your own choices. Okay, let's look at some swatches. I, again, have not touched this palette yet. The way that I used to do my swatches was I would go once in the pan and once on my arm. But what I realized is I don't think that's really fair, because for the most part, if you're doing your eyeshadow, how many times do you take a brush into it and go once on the pan and once on your eye and you're done? You don't. You usually go a couple times in the pan and you pat it on your eye, you blend it out, you go in for some more. So I am going to show you maybe what one swatch looks like, but I'm going to build it up to what it would probably look like on my eyes. So here we go.
People are nice, but it's only for the tips. The weather's fine, but it's nothing I would miss. My only friends are the ones I left behind. Wish I could see them just for a moment, 'cause I don't know anybody here, it's awfully lonely. I smile, but they just stare, and I see misery everywhere, it's getting to me. I cry, but they don't care. Oh, I'm getting lost in the commotion, and the sound is way too loud. 'Cause I'm not the city girl I thought I was. This town is bigger than the ocean, yet too small to fit the crowd. 'Cause I'm not the city girl I thought I was. No, I'm not.
Okay, so those swatches were an interesting little journey. I found myself being a little disappointed with some of the shimmers as I was swatching them. I was like, oh, they just don't look as like shimmery or vibrant as I want them to. And then as you just saw, I took them into sunlight and holy crap, they like popped right off my arm and they were so beautiful and so incredibly sparkly. And now even as I'm looking at them up close, I did get a little on my arm here. As I'm looking at them up close, they are so multi-dimensional. The only one that I'm not 100% thrilled with is Night Song, which is this blue, because it does have a very deep base and it is beautiful, but it just, I don't know, I feel like it might be a little difficult to work with, but again, I haven't put this on my eyes yet. Swatches on your arm are different than when you apply something on your face. Please always remember that. Something could look beautiful on your arm and terrible on your face and vice versa. So I'm just, oh my God, but these mattes, I'm actually glad. Like when I heard that they only reformulated half of it, even though I had never tried it before, I was like, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just put effort into reformulating all of it? But it's because these mattes, the quality is amazing. They are all beautifully opaque. The only one that's not as opaque as the others is Primordial. Other than that, that one's not even bad, by the way. It's just not as opaque. But the others, like, look at this, like Folklore. Do you see how deep and dark that is? And I mean, I think you all know Moon Moss over here. This like dirty, ugly, hideous green is probably my favorite of the whole thing. Okay, we are at the point where I'm going to take this off my arm and we are going to put it on my face. I am so excited. Again, it's been a while since I've really played with new makeup, and I want to see, you know, again, these swatched beautifully, but I want to see how this applies on my face. Also, for what it's worth, I just used my makeup eraser to get this off, and, you know, it all came off just fine with the makeup eraser. Again, it's been on 13 seconds. There is one that's being stubborn. You know what? The one that's being stubborn, that's fair, is Rebirth, which is this very dark purpley navy blue that's almost black. That one's being a little finicky. Everything else is great. Okay, what I think I want to do for this look, and this is going to be a little bit different for me, I think I want to do a two-tone crease with Moon Moss and Primordial. In Moon Moss being in the front and then Primordial being at the end. And then I'm going to put, I believe, Folklore is going to be on the very outer corner. So again, we're going to go Moon Moss, Primordial to Folklore. And then for the shimmers, I want to do Artifact because I have to do Artifact, followed by Soulstone on the outer edge. So I am going to try to do a look with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 9 shades. That's pretty good for me. So I have already primed and set my eyes. And first I'm going to go into Moon Moss with this more concentrated crease brush that I have. This is just from the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. And I want to put this, again, kind of in the front half of my crease. And this doesn't have to be completely clean. Wow, that goes on so pigmented right off the bat. That's really cool. Ooh, I like this color. The only thing that I always kind of wish that Shroud palettes had, which they don't, is maybe like just one lighter toned matte color to blend stuff out. But at the same time, I have so many lighter toned matte colors in different palettes that I can just easily grab another palette. But oh, I like that. I swear as I get older, my eyes get more and more hooded. Look at this. The color's like gone when I look like that. All right, I'm taking another small brush. This is the BK Beauty with the Angie Hot and Flashy set, the A502. And I'm going into Primordial. I hope I'm saying that right, by the way. I've said it 3 times now, and I just feel like it's wrong each time. I'm going to tap off the excess because I can always go back in with more. And I'm going to gently overlap those colors to see how they blend. I'm not trying to make brown here. I'm just trying to get the blend of colors. So where the colors meet, I'm kind of patting it rather than like windshield wiper motions so that it doesn't blend into like a muddy mess, but it actually is not a bad transition. I'm not sure. This might be my very first time ever doing a two-toned crease here. So I went ahead and very lightly buffed out the edges of both of those colors, and I did lose a little bit of pigment, so I'm just going to keep kind of going back and forth and build that up a little bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because, again, these are like very intense matte pigments, so if you start blending it, you're going to lose a little bit of the intensity. So I'm just going back in with both colors and just kind of taking my time. Okay, I think we got that to a place where I'm happy with it for now. I'm trying to decide if I want to go down and lay down the outer corner first before going in with shimmers, and I think I want to try to do that. So I'm taking this kind of dense brush right here, it's a pencil brush, and going into Folklore, which is this dark purple. Again, tapping off the excess, but I want to really pack this on the outer corner of my eye. Oh, that is a pretty purple. Also worth noting that for these mattes, do I have any fallout? No. Wow, that's a shocker. So I do think that this is a color that you want to take your time with and pack on a few layers because it does look like, I don't know if you can see, that it could have the tendency to be patchy if you try to rush it. But if you take your time with it, look at that. That's perfectly opaque and beautiful. Like, I love that purple. Ooh, this is turning out dark and sexy. Sexy. I'm probably going to go back and touch that up later on, but I want to take some Primordial right now, and I just kind of want to connect that outer edge to my lower lash line a bit, just to kind of smooth that out between the colors. By the way, someone commented that I was like pulling my face back. I'm not. For some reason, I always just kind of put my finger there and hold it. It's not, I have no idea why. It's just a habit. Okay, I think I'm happy with where that is right now, so it's time to go in with the shimmers. Now, I will say that when swatching these, I put my finger in Artifact a little too hard, so be a little more gentle with these than you think you need to be. But I am going to go in with just a flat brush and Artifact. And you know what? I didn't even put down my glitter glue. It's that kind of day. I'm just taking a tiny bit of NYX glitter glue on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to put that on most of my lid. All right, time to go in with Artifact. Let's see. I hope this shimmer really picks up. Whoa. Oh, that's like a dream color for me. That is like a dream color. Oh my God. And while the glitter glue is still wet over there, I'm going into Soulstone with a different brush. Oh my God, let's see. Oh, I got this on my lashes, so there might be some fallout, but oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love this sparkle. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. Now with these shimmers, I will say I can feel it tumbling on my face. So you will get some fallout with the shimmers. That's not a deal breaker for me personally, but I'm also taking these up into my crease just a little bit because they are so pretty. Oh yeah, they brushed right away with a brush. So, ooh, I freaking love this so far. I love green shadows so much. Guys, it makes me so damn happy. I haven't done a look like this in so long with like this many colors, and I did leave out Sentinel. Is there a place I can put Sentinel? You know what? Let's put it on the bottom lid. Let's put it on the lash line. It's also like the most brushes I've used in a single look in a while. That says something. Wow. Look at the shimmers and the shiftiness. It's so much fun. It is so much fun. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop off camera real quick, and I'm just going to do some liner and mascara. I think I might also do blush and lipstick. And then we will come back and I want to try out those lashes. And then I will give my first impressions of the Moonfall palette and also probably the lashes for how easily they apply or how easily they don't apply. We shall see. Okay, for lashes, I'm going to try these called Stiletto. Let me show you. Whoops, I'm going to throw the lashes at you. So here are the lashes. As you can see, they are very wispy and they are shorter in the inner corner and longer on the outer corner. These are definitely going to be too long for my eyes, so I'm going to have to trim them, I'm sure. Whew, these are very large, but they are so lightweight. Like, oh my God, how much am I going to have to trim here? I'm going to have to trim quite a lot, actually. So I don't know. I mean, they're like, that's almost like a whole ass corner lash that I'm taking off, but these are still, they are so, so pretty. I'm also going to trim off a tiny bit of the inner corner because here, let me see if I can show you. You see how the band of the lash is sticking out of the inner corner with no lash on it exactly? I worry that that would kind of poke me, so I'm just taking off a tiny bit of that. Yeah, that's better. I'm just going to use my regular Duo Lash Adhesive. This is the latex-free one, not because I have a latex allergy, but this one just tends to work best for me. And I like to really let that glue get tacky to make it super easy to put on. Okay, I did not wait long enough for the glue to get tacky, but before I put on this other lash, I just want you to see lashes versus no lashes. These are like pretty natural looking, but like it does up the drama. I barely feel them on my eye. I feel this corner popping off because that is a me problem. I didn't put enough glue on. Let's get this other one on. Yeah, see, this one went on very easily. It's just waiting for the glue to get tacky, and I get so damn impatient, but like, yeah, that one's on just like in a second. All right, let's go over some first impressions now, both on the Moonfall palette and the lashes. I love this look so much. Like, it's interesting because it's one of those things where I was like, Linda, you got to try to use more shades in the palette, because a lot of times with these reviews, I'll be like, oh, okay, I used these 2 shades out of this 30 shade palette. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's great. And how can you say it's great if you're only using like 2 shades out of 30 or something? So I did use 6. Pretty proud of myself for that. And everyone performed very well. What I will say is, for me personally, this is not a palette that I would use as like, oh, I've got to be ready in 10 minutes. This is something that I want to take my time with, that I want to pack the colors on. I find that when you swipe the mattes, it's not that they disappear. It's just that they get, you know, they're not as opaque and they're not as like in your face as they can be. But like once I packed that green on the inner corner, that's when it really came to play. So this is something that I would take my time with, which I'm fine with because I have palettes that are like grab and go, and this I would not consider to be one of them. You want to take your time with this. The glimmers, the shimmers, the shines, they all went on so easily and blended so well together. I can't believe like how easy that transition was. I am blown away by the shimmers, hands down. The mattes too, actually, like I really love this look. I really, really love this look. I can't wait to play with this some more. Like this shade, Devotion. Tell me I'm not the only person who needs an Australian accent when I say that word. If you know, you know. But Devotion is such a cool shade. It's got that like lilac but gold undertones. It's just such a cool shade. You can almost see it in here, how silvery it looks there and how purple it looks here. And it's so interesting. I really enjoy this palette, and I'm glad to add it to my other Shroud palette collection. I really like their formula. I have a lot of fun with it. As far as the lashes, I mean, these are pretty great. I think that they did amp up the look. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I could have probably used a little bit more glue on the inner corner because, you know, when I pressed it down, I could feel that it wasn't gripping as much. That's not the lash's fault. The lash was very pliable and awesome. And also I probably could have used a little more. Let me just do that now. What a difference a little inner corner lining can make. Overall, I'm really happy with this look. I'm really happy with this palette. You'll have to let me know what you think down below. Are you happy that this series is back? Is it too much information for you? Is it not enough information for you? What else would you like to know when I'm doing these? I'm so pumped about this look. I'm so pumped about this look. It's been so long since I've done a look like this. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, I would love if you'd give it a thumbs up, if you commented, if you shared it. Those things all really help out my channel. You all can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all GlitterFallout. And as always, and forever, you are super freaking rock stars, and I love you so much with my whole heart. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!